I go around universities and have challenging conversations, and because that's what is so important to our country, is to find our disagreements respectfully, because when people stop talking, that's when violence happens.
On September 10th, 2025, Charlie Kirk held an America Comeback event at Utah Valley University to a large crowd of young supporters. Now, at one point, certain individuals were angry at this appearance, and then someone assassinated him, right there on stage. With the first to confirm it being President Donald Trump, stating, "No one understood or had the hearts of America's youth better than Charlie. At 31 years old, he's no longer with us, being survived by his wife and 2 young children." What they did to Charlie Kirk today changes everything, as they didn't shoot him over fascism, dismantling democracy, or any of those buzzwords they use to villainize the right. They shot him because he was brave enough to speak the truth in a way that nobody else could. So respectfully as possible, let's talk about why, what happens next, and most importantly, to pay our respects to Charlie and his legacy. As initially, this video spread of the alleged assassin, who was quickly found to not be who they were looking for, as it seems they knew he was in a nearby building, where he is currently in custody. But before any real information has come out, MSNBC immediately went into blaming Charlie.
He's been one of the most divisive, especially divisive younger figures in this, who is constantly sort of pushing this sort of hate speech or sort of aimed at certain groups. And I always go back to hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then lead to hateful actions.
Trying to downplay if this was an assassination attempt.
We don't know any of the full details of this. We don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration, or so we have no idea about this.
With Democrat governors immediately trying to connect this to Trump.
Sympathy to Charlie Kirk's family and to Charlie Kirk, who obviously we've seen other political violence occur in other states. And I would just say it's got to stop. And I think there are people who are fomenting it in this country. I think the president's rhetoric often foments it. We've seen the January 6th rioters.
It's simply despicable how they're reacting to this, but of course the left is going to downplay it as they're likely the cause of it. As less than 24 hours ago, Charlie discussed the death of Irina Zarutska, to which CNN specifically called him out on.
Really, over the weekend, Elon Musk, Charlie Kirk, other Trump-aligned figures succeeded in making this senseless death a symbol.
And it wasn't the only time.
For someone like Charlie Kirk, he should be ashamed of himself. No one mentioned the word race, white, black, or anything except him.
And keep in mind, this CNN segment was after they released the video of the murderer saying, "He got that white girl," while muttering, "She called me the word." But this is in line with them villainizing anybody that dares speak out against their official narrative, which goes alongside other liberal groups trying to align Charlie's movement with a hate map. As the mainstream media apparatus didn't do this themselves, but it definitely looks like they're doing their best to justify why this happens. Even Asmongold pointed out how this shouldn't be a surprise, just look anywhere online to see people cheering this on. To which TikTok is filled with evil individuals rushing to their selfie cams to celebrate what happened. Even on Twitter they're doing similar, where it's even worse on Reddit. Now, we don't need to go on all these sites to see low-life replies. I just think it's important to show how this isn't some small minority on the internet that thinks like this. We have a huge problem with people becoming programmed to want this, not against some Nazi dictator that's destroying democracy, but for an internet personality that has the courage to speak his mind on hostile college campuses, which his bravery scares the left.
You are making a damn dent.
Thank you. I'm kidding.
No, but I know, but I appreciate that. I mean, it's the reason you're here, because I think people need to understand your success, your influence.
As he broke through pop culture and gleefully leaned into it.
The South Park episode just dropped, and honestly, it is hilarious. I mean, we need to have a good spirit about being made fun of. This is all a success. This is all a win.
They didn't go after an extreme, divisive, or overtly offensive public figure. They went after a regular guy that could articulate what most of America is thinking to the side that needs to hear it the most. But like Newsom said, he was making too much of an impact, and they not only needed to silence him, but also scare anybody that dare do the same. As Tim Cast announced, he's canceling his university shows.
We're canceling our events for obvious reasons. I got to confer with the crew on exactly how this plays out and what this means, but my phone is on fire right now with security is at the highest level it could possibly be. And we had an upcoming event. I was going to be on the ground at a university doing much the same.
Now, I don't blame Tim in the slightest. He's a young father who's not only responsible for his safety, but the safety of his entire team and all the supporters that would come out to see his shows. It's just an example of how an attack like this isn't just to silence Charlie, but his entire movement. As MSNBC is now worried, this might inspire the next Charlie Kirk.
How worried do you get about somebody taking up the cause of Charlie Kirk?
And giving them the largest logical benefit, maybe they're saying they don't want retaliatory actions, to which I can understand. But it comes across to me that they're just worried that Charlie Kirk isn't the end of Charlie's work, as I keep seeing people spamming the word war online, but honestly I don't think that's the right reaction to this. As of course his assassination is going to sadden and even outrage you, but that should just inspire you to continue his will. So many people, including myself, looked up to Charlie because he had the courage to speak out, and they shot him for it. That can't mean they win. That just means his legacy is now your responsibility. Charlie was a man of faith, so I doubt he'd actually be out there attacking anybody, but even after all this, I don't think he'd be afraid to spread the truth. As one of his last tweets ever was him and his daughter, writing, "Get married, have kids, and stop partying into oblivion. Leave a legacy, be courageous. Happy Sunday, and God bless all the parents out there."